What races do colleges and universities typically least prefer in their admissions processes?
Whites, men, Asians.
Congress asked who DEI policies discriminate against, and the witness did not even hesitate here. It's whites and Asians.
Dr. Shires, what is DEI?
Diversity, equity, and inclusion, as my colleague, Mr. Gonzalez said earlier, is none of those three things. It is an ideology that's based on a philosophy. It comes out of the academic world. It's based on a philosophy that society is driven by we are driven by our environment and our identity, and the world that we live in is constructed from it. As a result of that, we are victims of the world around us, essentially. And in that world, they divide people into oppressors and the oppressed in the Marxist tradition to leverage power.
Are DEI policies compatible with meritocracy?
They are not.
Could you elaborate?
Meritocracy is based on the idea that you measure somebody based on what they're doing, not what they look like. DEI policies actually call for equal outcomes for everyone. And so if I perform at a different level than someone else, they are automatically placed in that same level.
What do DEI policies mean in practice?
In practice, it means quotas. It means that
racial quotas.
It does, and just like the congressman mentioned, you know, the perception that people are promoted to ranks without the adequate backgrounds, whether that's legitimate or not. In this case, I don't think it is, but that is the perception that arises because you simply assign people status based on who they are and not what they've done.
Ms. Stepman, racial quotas seem un-American to me, don't they, to you?
Yes, and they're illegal.
And they're illegal. Under DEI regimes, what races do colleges and universities typically least prefer in their admissions processes?
Whites, men, Asians. Men is not a race, obviously, but there actually might be a little bit of reverse discrimination actually going against women now because women so predominate on universities. But yes, whites and Asians primarily.
Why do you think that it's primarily those groups?
Because they're in a war with the reality of these disparities. So if you want to have a quota that comes out perfectly racially balanced at the end, the only way that these universities have been able to achieve that is by discriminating on the basis of race and sex in their admissions.
So guys, when it comes down to meritocracy was once a system that absolutely, in fact, we lived within here. There were some troubling things here that happened in our past here, guys. Understand this here. I would basically lean on the facts here. 90s plus here. What is your excuse for failing? Okay, like what is legitimately your excuse for failing other than the victimhood mentality that you basically have latched onto here? Listen, we cannot live in a system that is, 90 to 100% egalitarian, guys. We cannot here. The equality of outcomes specifically just makes us all weak because now we're allowing people who have never been able to pass the test without the test for the most part being crippled here. We're allowing them to run things and be in positions where they technically and kind of by default absolutely do not have the merit to be there.
And you mentioned that a lot of colleges and universities, you expect to fight DEI restrictions. Why is that? You said that there was an ideological component there.
Right. I think my fellow witness correctly referenced the idea of the oppressor and the oppressed. There's this idea that all differences in culture, disparities, outcomes, all of these are somehow immediately evidence of discrimination and some kind of unjust system. And so if there's an ideological commitment to make sure that they kind of force the world to look the way that they think it ought to. And unfortunately, that's both immoral, discriminatory, and fortunately for us, it's illegal under the law of the United States.
Could you walk us through, practically speaking, what a DEI policy would mean for a college admissions process?
It means that in practice, they place a thumb on the scale for applications that may have no more or in fact lesser qualifications than other applications purely on the basis of race. And by the way, we saw this in the data in Students for Fair Admissions. Harvard was absolutely discriminating against Asian and white applicants who are comparably situated to other applicants. And we know that universities have been doing this for decades.
Mr. Gonzalez, BlackRock has a scholarship exclusively for diverse students. That's their words. What do you think diverse means in that context?
Yeah, that is actually diversity should mean that you have people of diverse backgrounds. Often enough, diverse means members of any of the so-called marginalized groups alone. without any participation by Asian Americans or white Americans.
That seems discriminatory, does it not?
And as Ms. Felcher said, it's not just discriminatory, it's also illegal and immoral.
We see this across the corporate world. Starbucks has a training program for employees limited to, quote, Black, Indigenous, and peoples of color BIPOC partners. Do you think that's discriminatory?
And illegal. I think the corporate world, I agree with Ms. Felcher. I think the corporate world is, in fact, trying to move away. I've heard many anecdotes of
Their goal at the time was for BIPOC representation to be at least 30% at all corporate levels and at least 40% at all retail and manufacturing roles by 2025. That sounds like a racial quota, doesn't it?
That's a quota, that's illegal, that's immoral. However, since President Trump was elected, they're actually coming forward and saying, hey, we're so glad you're making this illegal, you're discouraging us from doing this. We didn't want to do it in the first place. And so I agree with Ms. Felcher that the corporate world is moving at a much faster rate than the academy.
Yeah, guys, it's incredibly illegal. Like the idea of like discriminating against people based off the color of their skin, specifically in the big year that we are currently in here, 2026. Yeah, guys, it's a little bit wild. And the fact that we're still trying to maintain this after we fought within the civil rights here, how many years ago, guys? 50, 60, guys? For you to then go out of your way here to say, listen, we're going to go ahead and get our retribution here, right? And do exactly what you perceive was done to you, even though you weren't alive for it to be done to you. I don't know. Guys, it's just a little bit weird here. It's petty. It's not helpful. It's not helping bring Americans together. The mention of DEI in itself is basically burned, right? Like if you say you represent the idea of it, we know from on the other side of the table, at least here, that you are in fact here perfectly willing to discriminate against your neighbor. Me, Bob, okay, was raised on the same street as Billy, right? We have the same exact household. We're basically neighbors, and we've been neighbors for 20 years. And our parents have been neighbors for 20 years, and we're now, I don't know, 18, 19, going out to look for a job. And you're under the assumption, okay, that you deserve a job over him because of the color of his skin versus your skin. You grew up in the same exact neighborhood. And understand this here. These are the arguments that are happening kind of all around the country right now here. There are people that have the same exact household income saying that you need to be above that person because of the color of your skin versus their skin. Understand there are some extraordinary differences, obviously, in economics in some circumstances, but it doesn't really change the point that I'm trying to make here. All right. You guys are all living the same exact American experience here, guys. You are. Remove all of the nonsense here. Okay. You have the same exact 24 hours as the next guy. How are you doing it? What are you doing with it? And we seem to kind of come back to this exact point because whenever we do get to, woe is me type of politics here, victim type of politics, you have the same opportunity as Billy. Okay. In fact, you do. You're just choosing to utilize it in the wrong way. And yes, it could be the household that raised you may have not even had the knowledge in the first place to kind of put you in a position, but that doesn't really change much here, guys. The internet works here. The internet exists here. ChatGPT exists. Claude exists. You have all of these platforms to gain whatever knowledge you want right now, and no one is stopping you from getting it. No one is. Oh, you want to learn how to be a real estate investor? ChatGPT will teach you in a day. You get what I'm saying here? Stop paying these ridiculous gurus. You want to learn to do whatever you want to do here, guys. Guys, AI will teach you anything right now. For free. Do you get what I'm saying here, guys? The library exists. Go read a book, my guys, right? Most of these Ivy League colleges also have their entire curriculum online for free. Did you know that? If you didn't know that, please go learn something right now. Okay? What do you want to learn? Mechanical engineering. Go to MIT's website. Most of it's free, guys. Okay? This is what I'm trying to express to you guys. Stop chasing, I'm a victim, I'm a victim, I'm a victim. You're a victim because you're choosing specifically not to be a victim. But guys, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. You guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly.